Hey everyone, it's Daphne from Scrap and Create, and I just completed the Woodland Friends from Graphic 45, and this is 8.5 by 10.5 by 2.5 inches deep. It's got 4 pocket pages in it, and if you want to do this project, there's a playlist available called Woodland Friends, and the first video is the walkthrough, second video is the base album build, and then the subsequent videos all add the interactive elements and the designer paper to this project. So let's start on the cover. So this is a matted ephemera card with some chipboard behind it to help create a little bit of dimension. This is from the chipboard pack, and so is this little squirrel here. These are the Graphic 45 Rose Bouquet in, what is the name of this? Precious Pink. And I think it just went perfectly with the colors here. So that's our cover. Pretty simple. And this is a matted ephemera card. So this is a small ephemera card, but I trimmed it down. The ephemera cards have a frame within a frame, and I just trimmed it down so that there's only one frame around it and just scaled it down so it fit on the cover a little bit better. This is another piece of chipboard. It's just a nice feature element. And then back here is a die cut. And I used only die cuts on the back so that when the album is laying down, it'll still lay flat. So there's no dimension here, even though it was really hard to resist. I wanted to add some, but for the purpose of having the album lay flat when it's right side up, I just kept all this very flat. So I'm going to show that to you a little closer. So this is a die cut. This is the ticket from the die cuts, and then these are leaves from the die cut. So I just added all of these just to make this a little bit more interesting, not so dull. Okay, let's get started on the inside. Oops, I forgot I have my tape there. It was kind of holding it open. So on the inside, I did some piecing here, and I mentioned in the video when I was actually doing this part of the construction that I failed to set aside a 12 by 12 sheet, which would cover this 10 inches or 10.5 inches. So I had to do some color blocking here, and I go over in detail how to do that. So I'm really happy with the result. It wasn't what I was planning to do, but I failed to set aside a 12 by 12. So I show you how to solve that problem. This is a double matted ephemera card. This is by far my favorite pattern in the collection. Okay, it opens. This is color blocked, beautiful. And then it opens one more time, and then we've got this nice pocket. And inside I've done a bifold card and then just a large photo mat and some coordinating papers. So there's a ton of space for photos on page 1. And then in addition to that, each one of the pocket pages has this large photo mat. And I'm going to go over at the very end what paper is left, which isn't very much. So if you want to cover your photo mats, you're going to need some additional paper or some coordinating cardstock. Okay, here's page 2. This is a matted ephemera card. And then this is the back side of the same ephemera card. Okay, and that flap is holding this double door, which has a full spread. And I'm going to go so you can see this is a lot of photo space. So I've added a simple element over here that you can tuck behind. But this is all color blocked all the way across, so it's very beautiful, and you can get a ton of pictures just on this page alone. Okay, now here's page 3. Page 3 has sort of a zigzag flap, and inside is a nice pocket. So I've mounted some designer paper to add to that, and then over here we've got a nice long tag. Beautiful, easy to do some journaling on that. And that's one of the die cuts. So let me show you what this looks like. So that kind of opens in a zigzag. And I've used that feature many times before. And a nice large photo mat. It has a 1-inch decorative strip on either side so that when it's cascading you get this beautiful look. Here's page 4 and 5. It's a very simple page. I've matted these ephemera cards, and what I did is I flipped them over, so this is the journal side of the ephemera card. Okay, and then I did some color blocking on the inside. Again, this is my favorite pattern, and what you see on page 4 is a mirror of page 5. Okay, and another large photo mat insert. Okay, now we're on page 6. page 6. And then this has a nice large photo mat inside too. And then, you know, I just remembered I made this last night, this insert, and I didn't line the back. So I'm going to go through my scraps and try to find something to cover the back. And this is just a trimmed down matted ephemera card that slips right inside. So it's partially covering up the pocket, which I think looks nice. Here we have that same large double door feature. And it's all hung on this sort of what looks like a banner. And so that's the front and back of the ephemera. And then these doors open, and then they open again. And it's the same thing on the left side. Okay, so that's a huge photo spread right there. And then another large photo mat. And then here we are on page 8. We've got a double matted ephemera card. I did some color blocking here. It's one flap, that's 2 flaps, and then inside the pocket I've got a bifold card which features an ephemera front and back, and then just a nice large photo mat that coordinates with the colors on the inside. Okay, all of my flaps are held together or held down by magnets, and that is Woodland Friends. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough, and again, the tutorial is available and up and running. If you search Woodland Friends in the playlist, it should be the first one that shows up, but if you select the playlist, you'll see all the tutorials to make this album yourself. And if you need the supplies, go on over to www.scrapandcreate.com and you can pick up your bundle there. We'd love to have you join us over on the scrap. We ship to the continental United States and its territories, so unfortunately, we don't ship internationally, but we enjoy having you on the channel either way. But if you need these supplies, come on over to www.scrapandcreate. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. You'll be notified every time we have new content, and we try to get a project out every couple of weeks. So thanks for joining us. This is Daphne from Scrap and Create. See you soon.